It's crazy to think about that in June of this year, I was standing in this room making the video that was called Is Empyrea the Next World? And in that video I talked about all the paintings here. We talked about Ione, who's probably going to have a big role in Empyrea. And now we know for sure that Empyrea is the next world. It's confirmed. We had the first teaser last week where I did a video on that. I was barely able to talk in it, but we made it through anyway. So this week I'm able to talk a little bit better, and this should be a better video for everyone that was looking forward to that. So Empyrea next world, we've also got the next teaser for it, so that is exciting. We're going to be talking about the new teaser. We're going to be talking about some things I want to see in Empyrea when it comes out. Just kind of talking about everything overall in this video, and should be exciting. So here we go. Let's build the hype for Empyrea, which I know is already there for a lot of people with these teasers, and should be exciting. We're going to be getting other things this month too besides Empyrea. There's going to be some good updates as well as some new bundles, so cool things to look forward to. But let's start with the teaser. So here's the new teaser from today, and pictured are 3 ninja pigs, like the ninja pigs from the spell, and it seems like they're in like some kind of house. Maybe this is where they live, or maybe this is, it looks like they're just playing with toys, so maybe this is their daycare. The ninja pig daycare, and they're just hanging out there, and it looks like the one on the left is holding a beast man, like the beast men that we saw in one of the concept art pictures from the newsletter, and he has like a little toy of that. The other guys are playing with other different toys that are probably things that kind of signify what we're going to see in the next world. So Beastman is a mob in Empyrea. The middle figure is something I don't think we've seen yet, because I don't recognize that at all. It looks like some kind of creature, some kind of, I want to say dinosaur, but it's not really dinosaur, because it's more like a, just first looking at this, it looks like some kind of rock creature, and its mouth is glowing like coal or like fire, and even its eyes as well. So when I looked at this, I was like, is there going to be some kind of like underground type of area where these creatures live? Because to me it looks like some type of underground rock creature, and like the glowing like fire in its eyes and its mouth. Maybe we're going to be going underground at some point. I know that Empyrea is in the sky, as we can see in these pictures here, but maybe there's an underground part of it too. I don't know. I mean, it has to be floating on something, so that could always be an option. So just looking at that, it's kind of what I saw with this new creature. The other one that was interesting is the third ninja pig on the right is playing with a spaceship. Now, this could be a miniature model of the Arcanum that I'm standing in right now. This is what it could look like. Do we know that for sure? Not really, because we can't, really tell. But we know that the Arcanum is a spaceship. I guess we could walk outside. We know it's a spaceship. It could be a gigantic spaceship. Like, we can only, maybe this, where we are right now, where we've seen in the Arcanum, is just a really small part of it, because it's huge. And that could be a model of it. That could just be a model of some other type of spaceship, some type of, aircraft that we're going to see at some point. I don't know. I really like the sci-fi elements that we've brought into Wizard101. Who would have thought that in the beginning, that a game like this, that we start in Wizard City, would have, we would be in space. We would be in space. There would be spaceships. Maybe we're going to see, like, I don't know, some type of alien creatures too at some point. So it was an interesting direction, but it really adds to, like, the mystery of what the Arcanum is, because it is a spaceship, but where are we going? What's the destination? What is the ultimate goal for the Arcanum? Like, why was it built and all of that? So there's a lot of backstory. That's the one thing that I really want to know about Empyrea, is the Arcanum, because not only are we going to be going to Empyrea, but we're also going to be tying in the Arcanum to everything that we do now in the game, at least in this arc, and that's exciting. So spaceship could be the Arcanum, could be something else, but it'll all tie into the Arcanum in some way. So that's super interesting to me. The other things that we can see in the picture, on the bottom right, we see the Ione doll. So Ione gonna have a big role in Empyrea possibly. And then the other thing that we see is there's 2 other dolls on the ground. Maybe they're just other characters that we're going to encounter in the world, from what it looks like. I think One of them looks like a human. One of them, I'm not sure what the other one looks like on the left. But probably just other NPC characters we're going to meet. And then we also have the Sky Squid. Like a plush Sky Squid. Can I get that as an actual plush? Like, can they release like a real one, a real plush of the Sky Squid with Empyrea? So Sky Squids, we've known for a long time that Empyrea had those just flying around. Kind of reminds me of Pirate 101. So we'll see how similar that is, but those are going to be there as well. So just a few little hints here and there. From this teaser. We also have like a bird singing in the background. Maybe there's is that like a tree behind it as well? So can't see it all, but it also looks like it has like a wig or it's hair. I'm not sure. It has like white hair or like a white wig. I don't know, but that's what we get from this teaser. So one of the best concept arts I think I've seen. One of the best concept art pieces that we've gotten for a world release. There's just so much detail in this one, and I love it. It looks awesome, and it really gets you thinking about what this world could be, which is what they want. So really good job on that. So that's the concept art. I don't want to make this whole video talking about this, but it required a lot of attention to looking at the details in it, and I think it's one of the best concept arts that we've seen. Okay, moving on. We are just going to quickly go over some things that I want to see in Empyrea. I will probably continue this in another video once we get more teasers, just kind of continue the discussion. Plus, I want to see what you guys think as well. So let me know in the comments as we go along. If there's something I didn't mention that you want to see in the next world, just throw it in there. I'll be looking through, and we'll maybe mention a few of them in the next video. But here we go. Some things that I want to see. We're definitely going to be getting a level cap, probably up to 130, because they usually do increments of 10. So we'll be seeing that, and once we get to 130, what are we going to get in terms of the new spells or new pets? We just got new pets really recently, because the new pets didn't come out with the Mirage. They came out a few months after. So I don't expect new pets, but that's okay, because we had our pets that we just got recently, and you know, I just got the new Raincore pet. Let's put on the Raincore pet. I just got that, and there we go, Zeus. And they're great pets, you know, so I don't expect to get new pets, at least right away. New spells, seems like they release new spells with every world now, and I do expect to see some new ones from this. Are they going to be more shadow spells? I have no idea. I feel like I say this every time, but are we going to get more damage shadow spells, or are they going to be something else? Is life finally going to get a heal shadow spell? That's something that I would like to look forward to, if it was going to happen. But we won't know that until test run. So, some things to think about. What are we going to get for the new spells, if we get them? Are they going to be damage spells, or are they going to be something else? Some type of utility. It feels like all the new spells have to be shadow, though, at this point. Because we've kind of got every other spell for regular, you know, like power pip spells. We've already gotten, like, all of them up to 10 pips, you know? I don't see us getting more than that, so that's why we kind of have to move to shadow. And we have the, well, I can just look at it quick. For our shadow spells, we've got the 4 pip, the new 4 pip ones. We've got the 5 pip and the 6 pip shadow spells. So what's next? Are we going to be getting a 7 pip shadow spell, or are they going to drop down to 3? Like, what are we getting here? So that's something that they have to decide what they want to do with it. And are they going to be damaged? Or they could have lower pip shadow spell that's maybe less damage but does something else, some type of more utility based thing. Who knows? But something to think about for the next world, because I do expect there to be new spells. And then the other things that I just wanted to quickly mention are the is this the end of this arc? A lot of people think it is, because we already know that Empyrea was the last world mentioned that hasn't become a world in the end of Chrysalis Part 2. Old Cobb mentioned all these worlds, and so far every single world, now including Empyrea, is a world that we're going to in this arc. So they could wrap up the arc here, and I don't see Old Cobb continuing with all this after Empyrea, because we will have met all of his children, and we will have defeated all of them after Empyrea, right? they could easily just make the end of Empyrea be the end of Old Cobb, like the final battle with Old Cobb, and I'm guessing all 3 children, right? Because we have the rat, the scorpion, the bat, and some type of culmination is going to have to happen with all of them, because when Old Cobb leaves, like when you defeat his children, like when you defeat the rat and I think the scorpion, doesn't he like take them with him when he leaves? So maybe they'll come back even stronger and we have to defeat them in some type of final battle. That could all happen in Empyrea. I think it will. And we will see the end of that. See how that works out with Mallory and everything, because that storyline is still left unsolved. You know, we don't know what happened with all of that. So it should all tie up. I can definitely see it all tying up in Empyrea here. Let's just quickly look at the arcs in on all the worlds and how they've basically mapped out so far. So Wizard City through Dragonspire, first arc. We had Celestia through Azteca was the Morganth arc. Finished that, and then the third arc started with Chrysalis, because that's where we found Old Cobb. And this was 2 parts though. Chrysalis was a long world, so keep that in mind. Chrysalis was 2 parts that involved summoning Old Cobb back from the grave or whatever, wherever he was imprisoned. And then we had Polaris, where we battled the rat. The Arcanum is it a world? It is a world. It's a world interwoven with the other ones, and you know it's full of mystery. We have no idea what's going on with that. And then of course Mirage, where we fought the Scorpion, and then Empyrea is gonna be right here, and we're gonna fight the Bat. So that would be it'd be a 3 world arc, but the worlds are a little longer than worlds that we've seen before. I mean, definitely longer than, you know, the first arc. Second arc though, they kind of picked it up because we got some long worlds in here, you know, with Zafaria. I mean, Zafaria, they've definitely reduced it, but yeah, definitely Aztec is a longer one. Avalon can be. So Chrysalis is probably one of the longest worlds, if not the longest one. And then Polaris is short, but Mirage just picks it back up with that. So that's kind of what we're looking at for this third arc. Definitely could be the end. I see it being the end, because what other world will we go to after Empyrea for this arc anyway? Because there was no other worlds mentioned by Old Cobb at the end of Chrysalis Part 2, and these are all of his children that he's talked about, unless he has other ones. And I feel like this should be the end. I feel like we should confront Old Cobb finally and see what happens with Mallory and everything. So seems to me like we could see the end of this arc in Empyrea. It just makes sense. So other things that I just want to quickly mention at the end of this, difficulty. I hope that this world is difficult from the beginning and they keep it like that, because this is going to be the potentially the final world, and I kind of want it to be like Mirage was in Testrom, but just keep it throughout, because we're at the point where this is this is going to be it. This is going to be it for Old Cobb. And I know that they try to keep the difficulty, you know, kind of a little lower so that everyone can do it. But if you've gotten to this world, and, you know, in order to get to this world, you have to do all the other ones, all the previous ones. So you're going to know what you're doing in the game by this point. And you might not have all the gear, but you don't need every single good piece of gear in order to get through everything, which is, I guess, what they changed with Mirage when they were, you know, making the nerfs to that. But I definitely want it to be more difficult than Mirage was. They don't have to go to the full scale of Mirage Testron to make it that difficult, but I do want to see the difficulty go up a little bit for it. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. We'll have to see what Testrom's like. At least the one thing that I do like about Testroms is usually they start out very difficult and then they tone it back. Like, they start at a high difficulty and then they realize at some point that, oh, this is too difficult, and then they, you know, scale it back a little bit. So this is why I like doing Testroms, because for Testroms you can really see what they initially planned for this, and then they change it from there. So gonna be fun. All the Testrom news, all the Empyrea news you guys could want is gonna be on this channel. So definitely subscribe if you haven't. Leave a like if you guys are excited for this next world, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. So let me know your thoughts. We'll be continuing the Empyrea discussion as we get more teasers, as we get more information. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.